Yeah. I always wanted to do that. Just, with a purpose, though. I mean, I guess this is time, man. It's been long awaited. I'm going to touch on why Cassidy is my fourth favorite rapper of all time. And he's been my fourth favorite rapper for quite some time now. You know, because the first three, they've been in my top three forever. And he just came like right after that. So, Cassidy, man, what can I say about Cassidy, man? Cassidy is probably, I'm gonna say he probably like top five all time punchlines and freestyling. Hey, y'all can look at me crazy all y'all want, but if y'all heard this man rap, if y'all all through the years, if y'all heard him rap, if y'all knew about his background, his battle history, how he was in the Philly radio stations, battling fools like back to back to back to back, to the point where they had to close down radio stations. You know what I'm saying? That's allegedly. You know what I'm saying? And then he was with the Rough Riders, and Swizz said that he felt bad about how many people Cassidy battled, but he never lost. He never lost.
We used to have Cass battling so many people, man. It was ridiculous. I used to feel sorry for him. He got to understand that he bred these people. They looked at his videos 1,000 times. He looked at their video maybe starting when a couple of times.
So that says a lot, man. Like, and you also got to think about the battles we didn't see, like the battles on the street, because he was battling before everybody had a camera in their pocket. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody probably had like a flip phone or nothing. So it wasn't like a lot of footage, but it would have been crazy if he was running around battling fools like around this time in the street. It would have been crazy because we just would have been seeing nonstop battles of Cassidy just eating fools. He probably would have been the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? But, past all that, man, like his music. Nah. We gotta talk about the Diz battle. My bad. The Diz battle, when he came back, he hadn't battled in over 10 years. And he beat Diz. He pretty much 3-0'd Diz. I had him a 3-0, but it wasn't a body. Like he didn't body Diz, but it was a clear 3-0. Like he won all three rounds. In my personal opinion, I feel like Diz's first round might have been his best, but Cassidy kind of had the edge because of the impersonation.
I'm authentic, my brain is large, augmented, my car rented, this country switches cigars in it. Barbaric bars, but never bars in it. Yo, I go hard with it, spitting poison, I'm arsenic.
And because Cassidy has some really solid bars, like all the way through, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh man, I mean, some of it did sound kind of dated, but I feel like that shit was on purpose because people was making fun of him for sounding dated. So he just showed up like, okay, y'all say I sound dated. Well, I'm gonna beat y'all ass. I'm gonna beat y'all ass with this dated ass shit. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like he had like bursts of showing like I can really compete, if I really wanted to, but I don't respect this nigga. That's where it came down to. He didn't respect him. So I fuck with that shit, man. So what I'm trying to get at, like the first round, it was probably Diz's best, but I gave it to Cassidy because Cassidy pretty much stole that man's soul, his thunder. Diz gave him a pound. Diz gave him a pound after Cassidy impersonated him. So right there, I was just like, all right, you lost that round. Cassidy won. It don't matter what he do after this, he won. You know what I'm saying? He was already getting at him. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. And then the second round, I think like Cassidy had like that was his weakest round. It was like a filler round, or he was just like talking his shit. You know what I'm saying? But he had like a really goofy bar about like What he say? He said my watch yellow like the bumblebee on the Cheerios box. He had a bar like that. I was like, really, Cassidy? But that was like the only time where I was just like, really? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I just bought a gold watch with those rocks yellow like the bumblebee on the Cheerios box.
and he said it for real too. If you would have saw, if you would have saw his facial expressions, you would have been like, this nigga for real. But I fuck with him still though. So he had like that bar up in there. But the thing is why I gave Cass the second round, but I can see why anybody would give Diz the second round, is because Diz did have some solid punchlines. You know, about like the Ninja Turtle and shit. I forgot exactly what it was, but yeah, he had a punchline about that. But mainly his material was dated because, even though when I say dated, I don't mean like flow wise. I mean it was dated because this was all information that everybody knew. Everybody knew about Cassidy. So it's like, and to make matters worse, we knew about it for years. So it's not like he was saying anything brand new about Cassidy. So that's why I kind of knocked it down a bit. Like it was impressive, you know, like the way it was worded and the way it was delivered and all that. But because it was basically him reciting what everybody's known about Cassidy for like the past 10 years, because Cassidy didn't hide none of the information. He didn't deny none of the information or whatever, except for, you know, him running or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But other than that, like, he didn't really speak on it that much when it was transpiring. He just let the case play it out. But, and that's another thing too, Cassidy didn't snitch. He didn't snitch on anybody. He basically took, you know, what was about to come to him, and he got off. You know, luckily, because I think because he was able to afford decent lawyers, but he got off, and he didn't snitch. He didn't drop nobody's names or whatever. And it came out that he could have, because he didn't really have too much to do with it. It's just like he was the famous person, so he got caught up in the mess or whatever. But it was AR Ab's people that was causing issues or whatever and got them jammed up. You know what I'm saying? So then AR Ab ended up getting into it with somebody or whatever. But then because Cassidy just happened to be there, you know what I'm saying, he got, you know, pretty much incarcerated too. You know what I'm saying? So that made a lot of sense. And that's why, you know, he said on the song Innocent Man, where he was just basically talking about, you know, it is what it is. What happened that night, I'm sorry what happened that night. But if you listen to what he's saying, he wasn't really talking about how he himself pulled the trigger. You know what I'm saying? He was just talking about how the body was pinned on him because of his celebrity. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I really respect Cassidy for that shit. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. And, you know, speaking of like music or whatever, I didn't really like his albums all that much. I liked I'm a Hustler, and I liked, you know, the Barry Adrian Reese story. That was a dope album. For his standards or whatever. You know, these are like probably like 7 or 8 out of 10 albums. You know, and then, you know, Cash or whatever, it was kind of like a toss up. I didn't really like it all the way through, but I like some tracks on there. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure Face to Face was on there. That shit was cold. The track I'm a D-Boy was on there. That was cold. And I can't really remember everything off of that album. I apologize. And plus, I'm not trying to spend a lot of time speaking on, you know, this man forever. You feel me? But Cassidy or whatever, he does have like a lot of decent ass mixtapes, man. Especially like the Mayhem Music mixtapes, the Don't Trust Anyone mixtapes, and, you know, the Barbarian, which I really enjoyed. I was really shocked that I enjoyed it as much as I did. If y'all haven't heard it, go check out the Barbarian. And it was just straight bars all the way through. If you want bars, just look up Cassidy the Barbarian. You feel me? So, but yeah, man, like, unfortunately, Cassidy did make a lot of bad decisions when it came to singles, and I'm talking about like his later, you know, when he was basically on the edge of the mainstream. He dropped Drummer Bass, And drum and bass was horrible. I don't know why he did that. You know, much respect to him. You know, I rock with Cassidy, the hard, you know, heavy or whatever, but that song was horrible. I don't fuck with that song at all. Don't know what he was thinking. Straight up though. So how did I even get in, you know, how did Cassidy get introduced to me? I was basically pretty sure it was one of my cousins had like a old mixtape or something, and like he played it or whatever, but I didn't really know who Cassidy was at the time or whatever, but I was impressed. And I was at the age where I was pretty much, you know, riding the coattails of Eminem, T.I., and Lil Wayne. So I wasn't really trying to check for like no new artists. I was soaking in their library. So after I got done with that, it was a couple years later, around 2003, 2004, you know, it was like the Smack DVD era. And he happened to be on there, like just freestyling. I was like, oh shit, it's the cat. I recognized the voice. It's like, oh shit, it's the Cassidy. You know what I'm saying? So I fuck with him ever since. Like, he got like the, you can look it up on YouTube right now, and I got it in my car as we speak. But he got like a freestyle where allegedly he's dissing Murder Mook, and that shit goes so fucking hard even today. Even today, that shit goes so fucking hard. And I sweet to John, even at the law watching. I'm too hard to rap version of Bernard Hopkins. Nigga, Cassidy, bitch. Man. I apologize, my voice a little slow or whatever. I apologize. I did kind of just wake up and just start filming this. Well, not filming, but, you know, just recording this. I just had to get this off my chest. But yeah, man, I always rock with Cassidy, man. I rock with him. I always felt like he was a stand-up dude. You know, he's actually one of the few rappers today that can actually box. You know, you can look that up as well. Like, he's just a solid dude, man. He just seemed like somebody you just sit there and, you know, I'm not even going to say sit there and, like, have, like, a long conversation with, but just talk business with and everything be copacetic. You feel me? So, but yeah, man, that's all I gotta say about Cassidy, man. I got much respect for Cassidy, always will, and I don't care what nobody say, man. He's one of the best alive, in my opinion. Top 5, number 4. And Black Enigma out.